I'm Jake, Director of Product at an event company. I use things and I give it 3 stars. For more reviews like this, click below. So I've tried a bunch of different task management software over the years and tried to kind of keep everything together in one place. I've tried OmniFocus, but it's really kind of overwrought. Sometimes you don't need a compound miter saw, you just need a pair of scissors. Tried to plain text file or different paper notebooks, but those are out of date easily, and so trying to keep up with them was difficult. I've tried Todoist and Trello, but neither of them presented the information in a way that was kind of helpful to keep everything in the same page and organized once you got more information in there. So one of the main reasons that things really resonated is it's built by a small team, but you can tell that they really care about the product. There's consistent release cycles and development over the years. There's a kind of sense of whimsy that you don't see in a lot of software today. For something that you're trying to put your whole life into and try and keep the ducks in a row for work, you don't want to have abandonware that you're using it 1 month and 6 months later it's been abandoned. And so things has had a long development track record, which is kind of a nice comfort. And it's also a little bit more flexible with the methodology. It's unlike some of the other apps that you don't have to try and buy into a specific paradigm for how you use the application. So getting started with things is pretty easy. They've got a couple of template projects that the app comes with when you download it. It gives you kind of a sense of how to start to set things up. And so there wasn't a whole lot of issues getting started. It syncs well between different applications with their sync service, and so there weren't really any issues getting started. So as far as recommendations go for things, I think there's a temptation to kind of dump everything into a new task management software, and then it quickly becomes like that junk drawer in your kitchen where you can't find anything, and then you stop using it and you kind of wait and then transition everything in 6 months to a different app. And so the biggest piece of advice I would give is starting small. Start with a couple of projects and go from there. If you pile a bunch of stuff into things right off the bat, it becomes a little cluttered without that framework there. And so then you end up not using it and it becomes kind of clunky. And there are also separate applications for iPad, the iPhone, and the Mac. And so it can be pretty costly if you want to be all in on the ecosystem. And if you use multiple devices, it's pretty limiting in order to only have it on one device. And so that's probably my biggest critique, is that it's a separate application, a separate paid application for each one, whereas a lot of the other services are either web-based or you're able to have a universal app for one price. And so that's probably the biggest criticism.